All right, weekly motivation. We're gonna talk about timelines. Accept your journey and stop comparing yourself to others. We have this tendency to try to look at the next person and count their pockets. We'll say, "Hey, they at this point in their life, and I'm still here. They at this point at this time, and I'm still here. Why am I not? Why am I not where I need to be? Why am I not at that point? I need to be as successful. I need to be at this level of success at this milestone, at this point, at this age. And we don't need to compare ourselves to others. Look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z didn't get going until he's 26. Some people get going when they're 18. Some people figure it out when they're super young. I mean, some people don't figure it out until they're in their 40s. So every success story just has a different timeline. It's a different journey. It's a different path. So at the end of the day, stop comparing yourself to others. Run your race.
But current events, that NFL player that's getting paid at what, half his contract in Bitcoin or something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell niggas. He's sitting happy right now.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Budden, they just took half of their they just took a portion of their podcast deal in Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And they literally just learned about the shit like a month ago. Yeah. Pay me in Bitcoin. Y'all motherfuckers want to give me a tip? All right, give me a $20 worth of Bitcoin. I'm cool with that.
It's not $20 in Bitcoin or like actual
Bitcoin. If they want to give me $20 worth of Bitcoin, they want to transfer that over to me. If they want to give me $20, it's going to Bitcoin. I don't care. How I get money, that shit going to Bitcoin. I'm putting all my savings is Bitcoin now, motherfucker. It's that simple. My savings. That's where y'all want to know where I put my money now every fucking week. When I put my money to the side, when I pay myself, Bitcoin. That thing just hit 57 racks yesterday. While y'all was sleeping, it's gonna hit six figures. It's at 57,000 again. Look at this. Man, Bitcoin gonna hit six figures. It ain't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And god dang it, I'm saying by the end of the year, it'll be at six figures.
Y'all heard it here first.
57,000.
Oh man, now.
Hey, all I'm saying. I ain't just started talking about this, man. I've been talking about this Bitcoin. And I ain't really even got much. And I don't even care. See, that's how y'all know it ain't about me. I just want somebody to win that got the bread when I told them. Some people didn't listen.
Yeah,
they had the cash. I was broke. I told them. I said, just go buy one. Y'all got it. I don't.
I guess I should have woke up when he told me.
y'all know how asleep I was when I broke the album, man. I was looking at my damn Coinbase. I was just, I don't know why on Friday I just started adding up numbers. Oh my God, I got sick. I started adding up all the Bitcoin I bought over the years. I was like, dog, it's like 2-3 Bitcoin right here. Then I got on my fucking Ether wallet that I was buying in all them ICOs, which is like the IPO version of the coins. Man, I started looking. My Ether wallet is worth 0.16 Ethereum. I can't sell nothing. I can't get nothing out of it. It's really pissing me off. Like I've been thinking about that. That's at least like $300-400. I could put that into the stock market or something. I could put that into Bitcoin. And I started adding that up. Man, let me tell you, when I started adding up that Ethereum, I had almost 2 ETH in that. And Ethereum just hit $2,000 yesterday. Yep. I'm like, golly, I could have had stacks.
Dude, I'm kind of mad. I still got money in XRP and I didn't pull it out before they locked it down for no trading.
No, you can still trade it off you can still take it on an exchange and sell it. You can exchange it for Bitcoin.
It has not allowed me to do anything. It said it will suspend all trading on January 19, 2021, and I did not read it.
Yeah, for Coinbase, they still have it on other exchanges. You just got to go get on them.
Guess I'll figure that out in due time.
Sure. I'm gonna figure it out sooner than later. Don't be.
For sure.
You could transfer that to Bitcoin and just let it sit. That's what I did back in the day, and I was sick. I thought I took all my money out back then. I forgot some places because I was on too many exchanges. That's another reason why I stopped trading cryptos. It's too much. They got different exchanges for different coins. It's just too much.
But I guess talking about Bitcoin, so a few uneducated investors, so these aren't anyone big time or anything like that, but if you're gonna buy into Bitcoin, do you wait for the pullback or do you buy in now?
No, let me tell you something. Y'all want to know something, man? This is if you look at Bitcoin, if you bought at the all-time high, it don't matter. If you bought at the all-time high with the anticipation of any investment, you're gonna sit it in there just to make money. Look at every all-time high. It beats it. If you wait 5 years, it's gonna be past that all-time high. So I mean, you can buy whenever. I don't care. I buy right now. Because again, it's not about. I mean, if you holding it just for like an investment and not to like use it for nothing else, I mean, hell, it's gonna hit 6 figures. I said 50. I know I told y'all back in the day it was gonna hit like 50 grand. I think I called that a few years back. I don't know.
And when was it? It was what year was it that he had said something about it? Like 2015, 14?
Nobody looked at me crazy. I ain't like I say. I would just speculate. Man. I mean, hey, it was a crazy ride to that. I'm sure. Now, when this last pullback happened, when that shit went to like 35, I took my talents to the stock market. I was cool with that. I'm comfortable with that. I made 300%, and I'm still growing my shit. So I don't care. But
I missed that pullback though because it went.
Hey, didn't I beg y'all?
Yeah,
I begged y'all. I said I'm not putting mine in there because I don't have no extra cash. I just put it all in this Roth IRA. But I said, look, y'all can make some bread off of this. And I was just thinking like 20K soon, 50K like next year. But I didn't think it was gonna run like this quick. But I knew it was gonna pop back up. That's just what happens. And it was already floating in the 10,000 range. I told y'all boys, I say, just buy one. If you got it, just buy half one. You ain't even got to buy a full Bitcoin. Other people don't. That's the common thing. People think, like, oh, I ain't got $50,000 to go put. Do you think I do? Like, no. Okay, so go buy whatever you can. Whatever dollar amount you want to put towards it. I got one of my boys, he put like $20 here, $20 there, but he been doing it because he started listening to me around when it was in the 20,000s. He was just like, he was like, damn, bro, you really making me money. I don't even know what's going on, but you making me money. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, I put a post up yesterday on Facebook, like anybody, because a lot of people, they so skeptical. We're like, what makes this valuable? What da 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 da. And I'm just like, what makes money? Like, what makes the dollar valuable? Like, the dollar ain't backed by nothing. It ain't like we on the gold standard no more. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, money, like, the only thing that gives it backing is us in the government. Like, that's it. The same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a coin of trust. It has the blockchain. And I mean, that's really what everybody likes, the blockchain technology. But I mean, Bitcoin is simple. Like, if you want to go look at what gives something value, it literally, like, what makes a currency successful? Because that's like, at the end of the day, they don't have, like, they're not backed by no commodity. But you got like scarcity. Like, this is like, if you want to just go really breaking down, you got scarcity, durability, utility, transferability. I mean, Bitcoin is in its own space because you can't like make counterfeit Bitcoin. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
And for one, it's digital currency. It's a whole blockchain. It's made off of blocks. So like every time a new Bitcoin is made on the transaction, the little ledger, it's like a new block is made, which that has to be mined by the miners, which that's expensive as hell because it needs all this electricity and power. And it's like this complex code and equation that they got to go through to create the next Bitcoin and all of that. I ain't getting all of that, but simply why is it valuable? It got peer-to-peer transactions. It has that complex transaction system that's coded. It, for one, can be sent globally faster than fiat. It's minimal transaction fees. Cause like if you're trying to wire some money, like I actually just did it. I just did a deal where I wired some money to my boy, literally Texas to Texas. Like we're talking about same city. And it cost me like $20. It's like 15 grand or something. It cost me like $20-$30. I could go wire. I could have took that same amount of Bitcoin. I could have sent that to freaking Japan or somewhere in a few hours. Like you trying to send something across the country, you might have to wait a couple days. You trying to send something worldwide, and it's gonna cost you a girl. So I mean, it's just cheaper transaction fees. I mean, if you don't want, like, that's just one of the things to think about. That's we talk about scarcity. They have a finite supply. It's a fixed supply. It's only gonna ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That being said, I know people probably be like, well, then the price gonna keep right. That's what you want. You want the value of it to go up. You don't want the dollars. Let's explain the dollar. The dollar depreciates constantly in value. On the other hand, you have Bitcoin. Bitcoin rises in value. It does not. It has no. It doesn't. It doesn't necessarily depreciate. It's always going to appreciate over time. I mean, even if you see pullbacks on the dollar, if that's what you want to call it, because a lot of people want to look at it like a stock. And I mean, that's not what you should look at it like. Because as time progresses, you'll be able to buy more and more stuff with Bitcoin. But to me, that's a big thing. It's not affected by inflation. So now you have more purchasing power. You know, like the dollar in 1920, you know, $100 is probably like nowadays $10. That's kind of the value you look at it. And you have that public ledger. So it's decentralized. That's the big thing. Like it's no government intervention, none of that stuff. So that was like the big thing. It's for the people. It's kind of like, it's like FUBU, for us by us. Like Satoshi, what's his name? Satoshi Nakamoto or whatever, the guy that made it way back in like 08, 09. That was kind of what he made it with the intention of. But yeah, I mean, it's literally backed by the, I mean, the only thing is like the government, you know, some governments don't really mess with it. I mean, that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, we see what happens when certain things take over to the masses, and you see how people start going there. But also, it can't be counterfeit or nothing like that. So
yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
Well, talking about the dollar, because I was just looking at this stat here, how they were saying $3 trillion has been created in 2020 alone, which is like almost 20% of all the dollar.
But that's the thing. Like, you can't just wake up and say, at least with Bitcoin, you ain't just gonna wake up one day and be like, oh, I want to just make some more. Like, it has a finite supply. Like, it'll never be a time where, you know, you'll be able to just wake up and say, oh, I want to do this. I mean, if people want to look at like issues, like, yeah, I get, and once the transactions happen, that's it. Like, it's boom, that's done. So I mean, you can't reverse it. So I mean, that is like one thing you need to pay attention to. But I mean, they have wallet key addresses like digitally that you can send stuff to. You know, if you want to go the Ethereum route, Ethereum is good too. That's kind of like it's different. I'm not gonna go into it, but if you want to just like learn about it, go look up what smart contracts are, and it also serves as a like a foundation for like other cryptocurrencies to build upon. And they have these things called dApps, which is just a decentralized app, which is like the apps of the crypto space and stuff like that. So yeah, it kind of, Ethereum serves as like the foundational platform that people like build their applications on top of. So yeah, that's, you know,
something just random here, and you may have seen it, you may have not, but this whole like crypto pictures and stuff, or like digital pictures everyone's buying lately. Have you seen that?
Nah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, see, I'll have to do some research on it for the next episode then. But I've been seeing a lot of people doing that, buying these like pictures for like 10,000, and now they're selling for like 25, 30. And it's something with like crypto, like a crypto picture. And it's like a digital picture people are buying from some artist somewhere.
He might just be on the come up. He might have just found some shit and he on the come up. Honestly, I don't know. I ain't heard about that. I don't know. I'm not super tapped into not like I was back in like 2017.
It's like a crypto artwork or something.
Yeah, it's like crypto artwork. It's like one main dude does the artwork, and he's doing like limited supplies. So like the value of it's going up like.
It's simple, basic economics, supply and demand. That's how that go. You know how it is, man. You say something this valuable, and you know enough people fuck with it, and all of a sudden, hey, no, this is worth 100,000. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Shoot. To me, that's pretty much how the dollar is. I mean, if everyone thinks the dollar is worth $1.
Well, yeah, I mean that's anything. It's like I put I don't know, I can't remember the guy's name, but he had this like little freestyle basic economics back in the day. And I mean, he break it down perfect. I mean, so the supply is when demand is greater than supply, what happens to the price? It goes up.
I guess just looking at it now, I guess how far, cause we all know how the dollar has pretty much devalued from back, back in the 30s and, moving forward from here. Are we thinking that crypto is going to be one of those that's kind of taking over as a major currency?
Digital currency is going to take over I don't know. It ain't a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah,
I
so when
don't
do you
know
think you're gonna
what.
start utilizing it like for purchases and stuff?
Well,
Because I
see, man,
mean,
you could use you could use Bitcoin now. I mean, they got Bitcoin linked to debit cards. You got BitPay cards. It's a lot of things you could buy with Bitcoin. It
And then
ain't just
just think with this virus, how there's less coins in circulation right now. So I mean, to me, this virus kind of pushed Bitcoin to me further because now
oh,
I'm using cash and they're like, hey, I can't give you change. Well, damn, what am I gonna do? So I think the combination of one millennials, 'cause that's pretty much who's pushing this Bitcoin thing with Bitcoin cards and spending at McDonald's and Bitcoin and stuff like that. So I mean, I think it's gonna be
well,
sooner than later.
well. Also, you got to think. A lot of the dollar money that they be pumping, it ain't even like real money. I think I read somewhere it's like only like a few $1 trillion we actually have like in physical cash, and the
mhm.
rest is all just virtual. It's just they keep it. It's based on like their, you have everything has records. So we have like documentation saying this is how much money. If it's like whatever, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. It's like $15 trillion is how much we have in circulation in the like of the dollar. Like only like 2 or 3 trillion of that is actual like physical cash and coins and stuff. So
Yeah.
now you're looking at it's literally the same concept almost. It's imaginary money. Like it's simple. Like if you ever try to go to a bank and you got a 200 grand, you want to clear that out right now. Most of the times they're gonna put you through the ringer to get it out anyway. They're gonna look at you crazy. They're gonna question you. That's the crazy thing. You're gonna question somebody on why they want to get their money, and you gotta go through this whole process. The bank might not even have it. So now you still like I can't just like if everybody in the world right now tried to go pull out all their cash in their bank account, it wouldn't be possible. So if that don't tell you something, I don't know what will. I mean, people always want to talk about Bitcoin and stuff, but I mean, don't get me wrong. There's other options. Like you ain't got to use Bitcoin, but I'm just saying that it's gonna be some digital currency. I believe it's gonna be Bitcoin possibly. If it doesn't, Bitcoin to me it serves as like a digital gold because when you look in the crypto space, everything the way they operate, everything is calculated in like if you look at Ethereum, XRP, it's not calculating in what the dollar value is. It's calculating in what is the BTC value of this. So XRP might be 0.00005 Bitcoin. That's just how they calculate things in crypto land and crypto, where you want to call it, the crypto space. That's how they calculate stuff. It's not looked at as a dollar value. But you got to think, we're not the only one. This is a global currency. It's a global digital currency. It's not just used by us. I mean, China, I hear they're trying to come up with a currency as well, but I don't know too much about it. I've heard rumblings of it, read some stuff. But
I guess no more of this Dogecoin.
y'all got it, man. Though, like I
Went
ain't.
to the ground, man.
I try to tell people, dog. Like people get so caught up in these. Like I don't understand. Like you gonna put your money in something. I mean, y'all know how I am. If somebody tell me put some money up, I'm about to run you through you about to give me a 2-hour session on why I need to put money in this, or I'm gonna go do my own research. Like I don't have time. I don't just be handing out money. Like I need some. Like why does this make sense? What's the advantages? Like what's my return gonna be? Like at the end of the day, what's a good segue? You ain't gotta put your money in Bitcoin. You can put your money in whatever you want to put it in. But I will say this. Having your money sitting in a bank account don't do nothing for you. All it does is get a bank the opportunity to do what you should be doing. That's putting your money to work. That's what they do. You all y'all with savings accounts, don't get me wrong. It's good to have an emergency fund, 3 months, 6 months set to the side, whatever you need, some people say, a few years. I mean, will be realistic for the regular person, at least 3 to 6 months. The savings is fine. That's all you really need set to the side. You want to be crazy like me? Put that in Bitcoin. That's what I'm starting to do. I'm moving all that to Bitcoin. It'll just sit there. It is what it is. And that'll just serve as my savings. But I think what people need to do is they need to start treating like, I don't think enough people speak about like treat your money, like every dollar need to be treated like some type of employee, because you could go deploy that dollar to go to work for you, because that's all that the banks are going to do with your money anyway. So yeah, let's just we could kind of break down like a plan for people, and at least this is where how I would do things. I mean, everybody entitled to how they want to do it. I don't, but this makes the most sense to me and a regular human being that may not just have a hell of a lot of money to just go throw in the stuff. Because I mean, I get it. Like we're all working towards that wealth. We're not necessarily, we don't have it just a second. So I mean, how I would start, I'll break it down for like single people, people that got a wife, married with kids. I'll break it all down. I'll try to. Y'all keep me on track and stuff. But
Absolutely, go ahead.
how I would do it, right? As like I'm single, so personally, I have, I put it to, I couple it. I always tell people make things automatic because when you treat it like a bill and make it automatic, now you adjust your lifestyle to what's left. So if when you get all right, whatever you do, whatever you make your income, when you get paid, have X amount of dollars, automatically you have your expenses. So that's gonna come out off top. You know that. Break down and make a budget. So break that down. You might have, $5,000 coming in. You might have $2,000 in expenses. So now have a set amount of money that you're gonna put towards, your savings or whatever. Also have a set amount of money you might put towards other investments, like get into the stock market. I mean, yeah, like I said, you got crypto, you got the stock market. Hell, you can go team up with some people and do real estate if you want to do that. It's options. I mean, you can go start a business. I mean, if you just want to try some stuff out, it don't hurt to try nothing out. But how I would go about it is I would if you have an opportunity to get a 401k through your job, while some people don't like it, I say get it just because it's another avenue that'll come out, pre-tax, and that'll go into an account and you can invest that, but it's usually like index funds. But I mean, you can allot it to whatever you want. Some companies may let you get company stock depending on where you work. So I would do that. You ain't got to max it out. You can put whatever you please. I only put like 7%, but that was because when I was living in Boston, like I didn't start it till I got to Boston because they just take so much out of tax. I'm like, you're going to take out this much for taxes. I may as well just put this money to the side and I'll pay the tax on it myself later, but I'll still have cash because also a lot of companies do company matches. So you may as well at least take advantage of putting enough money in there to get the free money the company's going to match anyways. Yep. 2, I would say go get a Roth IRA. Roth IRAs, that's a post-tax retirement account. The thing I like about Roth IRAs that differs from the 401ks is you can take, basically you take your money post-tax, but whatever capital gains you make on that, as long as you take that money out after you're 59.5 years old, you don't pay any taxes on it. So, I mean, yeah, this also helps because a lot of us were so worried about quick cash. We don't think about down the road. And I get it. Some people are going to say, well, life is short. Well, Chris Rock or whoever, and I think I love my wife. He made a great freaking, he said something that always sticks to me today. He's like, a lot of people say life is short, but no, life is long. You need to be prepared for what's going to come. You need to be prepared, like the probability you getting hit by a bus when you walk out on the street tomorrow, that probability is not likely. So you need to think about down the line. And if you don't want to think, and if you want to think about life is short, well, hell, you might have kids, you have family, pass that on to them. Like, think about the long game. That's a big problem, especially for like us, Black people, all minorities. We so quick to think about the now, and we don't think about the long term and what's coming later. So just take that into consideration as well. But while I like the Roth, it gives you a freedom. I use Vanguard. It gives you freedom you can do anything. I trade options in my Roth. I buy stock in my Roth. You can do index funds, all of that. It's however you want to treat it, whatever you want to use it for. I've heard about self-directed Roths. I'm not 100% familiar with it. I don't really necessarily need it, so I don't really look too deep into it. Also, another thing I like about the 401ks is you can essentially serve as your own bank. So a lot of people sometimes, you have a penalty for pulling out money, which I can't remember what the actual penalty is because I've never done it. But you get a penalty if you pull
30% or something like that.
Yeah, you'll basically pay taxes on it, then it's a penalty on top of that, depending on whatever. So, I mean, I don't necessarily do that. But what you can do is you can take a loan out against your 401k. So now, like a lot of us will go get a loan from the bank or something, or go about it that way and pay interest to the bank. Well, if you got enough money, you can take out I think it's like half of the money you have vested in the 401k. You can take that out because I just did this. You can take that out, pay yourself back interest. You set up your own loan terms from 12 months to 60 months. Now you set up your own loan. You're serving as the bank, and now when you pay back the money every paycheck, you're paying yourself back with interest. But on top of that, you're still contributing to the 401k. So your 401k is still adding money to it. You're paying back the money you borrowed. If you want to get real crazy, just and some of them let you do lump sum payment back to pay the money back. So that's something to look into. Every all the terms are different, but I have Fidelity through my job, and they allow me to pay it back lump sum. If I ever want to just be like, okay, I just want to pay this back, I can just pay it back. No, I don't have to go through a whole lot of hoops or nothing. But at the end of the day, the thing is, I'm taking that money, putting it with my own money, and now I go do a real estate deal. So now I'm making 50% on a deal, 50% return on my money, compared to maybe we'll go generous, 8 to 10% that I might make having my money going into the S&P 500 or a company stock or something like that, like in a year. So I'm getting 50% return in 6 months. It's just some quick math. Like that makes more sense than me having the money sitting here slow grow. I could go guarantee myself that I can get to 50%. I'm gonna go do that, but I still got the money working in 401k at the same time, and I'm paying myself back with interest. So that's gonna account for it if you want to do like a long term loan against yourself. That'll account for the inflation and stuff like that. So I think that's just something to consider. But back to the Roth, I just like it because it gives you the freedom to be able to deploy money into investing. And I think we all need to be investing in the stock market personally because it gives you some type of ownership into companies and stuff. If you want to trade options as a means, that's an avenue as well. You just have to. I know with Vanguard, all you gotta do is make a phone call, tell them you want to trade options. They'll send you this little form to fill out, and then pretty much you just fill it out. They'll set you up with the ability to do that. As far as the savings side goes, right? So you got two options. You can go get you like a high yield savings account, start putting money to have like an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months set aside, because life happens. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. So life happens, just so you're prepared. Because you don't want to, I speak from experience, you don't want to be like me. And every time I built up some money, especially like I built up money in Bitcoin, like probably so many times, and then something happens and I wasn't prepared. So now I got to pull this money out. I had to do that when I just moved here to Dallas because I wasn't expecting that kind of hit. That was a big hit. That was a whole different realm. Don't move to Boston. but yeah, I would say set that money aside. So now you got your 3 to 6 months set up. Max out your Roth because your Roth is going to give you, you only can contribute $6,000 a year. So that's, for most people, that's doable. A lot of us will say it's not doable, but I like to say do it like this, right? Most of us, not all of us, most of us get some type of bonus from our job. Most of us, if we're fortunate enough to not owe taxes. I mean, while we shouldn't want to have a tax return, because I have a whole person come on that broke that down, which, when you have a tax return, all it is your money back. Like, it's because you overpaid the government. So guess what the government was doing with that money you gave them all year? The same thing the banks was doing. They are investing that money for themselves to make more money on top of it. Then guess what? Now they just gave it back to you at the end, after a whole year. So you know what that sounds like to me? To me, that sounds like a 0% interest loan that you just gave the government. But I get it. Some people, they don't want to do all the digging and try to figure that out and get it to where, you're paying as little as possible because some people are afraid they might owe. So that's fine. Let's just say you do that way. So take your tax return, takes your bonus. That should put a big dent in the $6,000 that you're going to have to contribute to that Roth. Now you actively work to put money to, pay yourself first, make it automatic. So do this as an automatic withdrawal type deal. Treat it like a bill based off whatever your expenses are. So now you have money going every paycheck, have money going to the emergency fund. If you want to front load it and just focus on one thing at a time instead of just spreading it out like that and slow doing it, you could do the avalanche method or the snowball method where, it's simple. Just like Dave Ramsey talking about debt snowball, you can do the same thing for saving money. You can put, you might want to just put all the money to one thing at one time, or you might want to put a little bit here and focus in and put a bigger portion of it towards the Roth IRA to max that out as quick as possible. and then take that money you was putting towards there and now go towards putting that towards the emergency fund. You get that set up. Then you take all of that money now, and now it's going into a separate account for whatever you want to put that money to work in. It might be you might want to do a real estate deal, a separate, a brokerage account where you want to be active with your stock trading for, short term and just, try to make some side income. Or you might want to start a business. I mean, however you want to look at it. But at the end of the day, push your money to work, make them all employees. So, that's how I would do it as a single person. Me personally, the 3 to 6 months, I put it in Bitcoin. It just makes the most sense. I personally think it'll hit 6 figures by the end of the year at this rate. I don't see, it'll have a few pullbacks, what everything does. Nothing can go up forever, but as long as the way everything's working with all the companies start to put cash reserves in there, it has no choice but to go up. And if we get to a point where enough cash reserves get in there, Kathy Wood went over this. If y'all want to go watch Kathy Wood, Big Ideas, she kind of broke this down where, if everybody starts putting at least just 1% into Bitcoin of their cash, it'll hit like 400, 500 grand in the next couple of years. But so we'll talk about I guess like people like, if you got you get in a relationship or something like that, right? So to me, this is like the ultimate play, like the way it should be. I know everybody's gonna say, well, what if I can't do that? Okay, well, if you can't do it, increase your income. Because I hate when people always want to talk about, the Dave Ramsey, like decreasing expenses. Well, sometimes you could just increase your income. Like that's an option too. Like I don't know why people don't ever take that into account. You can find ways to increase your income. You want to go do Uber, want to go pick up a second job, want to go do little side hustles here and there, whatever you want to call it. Like it's ways to do this. So let's say, you and your girl or you and your man or whatever, whoever listening, y'all got 2 incomes. This is all dependent on the fact that y'all have 2 incomes. There ain't no stay-at-home moms. Like this is dependent on you having 2 incomes. So you take one person's income, right? That one person's income is gonna cover all the expenses. Whatever is left over, you can put that towards whatever I mentioned in the single example. Now you take in what you need to do is now you still have the 401k for you and your wife. You still have you have a Roth or your girl have a Roth. Y'all can max those out. I don't know if they do joint Roths. I don't know how that works. I don't have all the details on that. So now you got that situation, right? So whatever you got left over, I'm assuming, if you want to do the man's check or the girl, whoever makes the most, have them figure out how much of their money covers all the bills. If they, whatever's left, start putting that towards that, the Roth IRAs. Also, now we have one income accounted for, right? So now you have a whole nother income, right? You have your girl or your husband or whoever. Now you got their income. You've covered all the expenses, right? So now you have a whole check every 2 weeks or however you get paid. You have a whole check that ain't doing nothing. So you have options, right? So now you can take that money and deploy it into investments. If you want to stack it up at first to do a bigger investment, cool. However you want to do it, it's up to you. But now you could speed up that process compared to somebody like me that's single. Y'all have 2 people working at it. Of course, 2 people working together is more times than not going to be more effective than just one person working by themselves. So now you have the bigger person's amount of money covering expenses. You have the other person's money covering, let's start putting money into investment, stock market, whatever. Now it gets deeper. Like, let's say you got kids, right? Okay, cool. Now let's go get the kid a custodial account, or you could do a 403B, or hell, you could do both. I mean, whatever you want to do, whatever realm you want to take. I mean, I just keep it realistic because you start looking at a lot of money going out, and you like, I may not have as much money. So yeah, I say this: go get your kid a custodial account. I can't remember the exact dollar amount you can contribute to that, but basically, it's an account that you can create for your kid that you're in control of, that you can invest on their behalf, and then once they get of age, you can, that's money that they can have to do whatever with. 403B, I believe. I think that's what it is. I think it's a 403B. I can't remember the number 2 or 3. I don't know. 403B, I want to say is I'm not a financial advisor, nothing like that. So I'm just trying to get y'all what I would do. But 403B, I believe, is just education only. So that's why I always say go get a custodial account for your kids, because you can kind of put that into the stock market. And heck, this is a great thing too, because now it plays into educating your kid, right? So when they get old enough to start figuring out about how money works, now you can start taking and be like, you get kind of, this is how you help teach them a skill. So now they're on the right path to start off with, instead of having to figure it out, usually like most of us do later on in our 20s or something. So now you got a chance to teach a kid about money. They get to see, because people are visual, especially kids. Like now they seeing the money be made. So now they can start learning about how to trade in the stock market. They can start learning how to invest their money. They may be interested in crypto, whatever. So, but now you could start teaching them like money rules and money habits. So that would be kind of my way of doing it. Also, if y'all got credit cards, man, and y'all decent, like, y'all got a, grasp of being good with your credit, man. I don't know the age limit to be able to put your kids as an authorized user, but put your kids and stuff on your credit card. I think you get X amount of users. Some people sell trade lines, so at least, if you got a 700 credit score, you're good with, you ain't got to put them on all of them, but if you're good with, you got, let's say you got 3 cars, and for sure you're good with 2 of them. Put the kid on them 2 cars and start building up their credit. So when they get old enough, you putting them further ahead. Like, it just makes sense. It don't cost you nothing. You don't even have to give them the card. I got my little sister on mine. I mean, the card came to my house. I cut that thing up because I'm not going to give her no access to it. But hey, I'm building her credit for her. So, I mean, there's options that people just don't want to take the time to learn. And I mean, that's fine. Again, you may not even know about it. And I didn't know about it at one point. So we don't know what we don't know. So, but this is me trying to explain it to y'all to give y'all a better opportunity, a better plan. And I mean, that's how I would do it. So, I mean, am I missing something?
No, I think you're spot on. I was actually, before you even mentioned that credit thing, that's what I was going to say. Because personally, I mean, I pretty much follow all those same principles. For Grace, we already have a 403B account set up for education that we just put a set amount of money in per month. But also, so Megan doesn't have credit cards, but I do. So I actually don't use a debit card at all. Like for anything, I never use my debit card. Everything's always on credit. And I just pay my credit card off every month to increase my credit. But since Megan didn't have a credit card, I actually added her to my as an authorized user for my credit cards, and I'm doing the same for Grace because I know every month I'm just going to keep paying it off and build up their credit that way. I mean, so now my child, when she's 16, will probably have like a credit score of 750 plus.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what kind of doors that open?
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely the way to go. And I'm sure a lot of folks out there, your credit might not be the best in the world, but just start with some type of credit card and make sure you pay it off. Because all these things Ollie was saying, the big thing here is discipline. For every single thing, if you can break down your check and actually invest it and not just think, oh man, I'm about to go do this, this, and this, you got to have some discipline to do it. Same with paying off your credit card. So, I mean, I think you're spot on with everything you said.
And another thing, because this happens a lot, and I get it. People go through things, they struggle with it. I get it. But please, okay, if you're gonna do this, do it the right way. Don't take out a credit card in your kid's name and fuck it off. Like, why would you? And I mean, this has happened to me. Like, and I know people that's happened to. I'm just like, and don't get me wrong, circumstances happen, right? But just don't screw your kid over like that. Don't put them in no situation that they don't even know about when they're a little kid and they get older and be like, oh, let me go. Oh, there's this thing called credit score. Let me go look into this. Oh, damn, my credit score in the high fives. What the hell? And they don't even know. Like, they confused. They don't know what's going on. But if you do things the way I explained it, this gives you an opportunity to start teaching your kids about money and credit and all of that stuff. So it's more than just, setting yourself up and having your money working for you when you do things like this, especially if you got a family. Now you can educate because your girl might not even know. So like you got to have everybody on board. And once you get once both parents are on board, you got a kid. Now both of y'all can, both of y'all are educated on it, and now y'all can teach the kid how to make the right moves and do the right things. So I mean, that's a big thing. A lot of us don't get taught, and we can't get taught because hell, our parents weren't taught. Their parents didn't know. This stuff was, kept hidden from a lot of us. So usually only the wealthy know about this stuff. And this is the age of information. So why not go educate and learn how to do this stuff? I mean, I'm still trying to learn the whole credit game. I'm determined to figure that out. But for right now, I'll just probably end up paying somebody to do it for me. It is what it is.
See, Another big jump also, because I have a credit card that has a pretty high limit on it. So with a lot of people, their credit score, the reason your credit score is low is because you're using too much of your credit card utilization.
Yep.
So you'll be
Mhm.
like at 60%, 80%, whatever it may be. So like if I have a credit card with a limit of 40,000 on it, and my wife, hers is only 10,000 and she's using 8,000 of that 10,000. If I
Yep.
add her as an authorized user, her credit utilization goes from 80% down to like 20%, and her credit score is going to jump like 50 points.
Yeah.
Also, just like individual cards, I know a lot of people say, so I raised my score from like the high fives, and I'm at like a 7. I've been as high as a 730. I think I'm like floating at like 715 right now. But what I did, like, and this is just like straight Google. You know, a lot of people, the rule of thumb is don't for each credit card, you know, you want to have 30% utilization or under. What I did find out though is that once you start talking about 800 credit scores and stuff, I found out this from a past interview I did with the mayor of credit, Miss Malika Honore. Appreciate you. She kind of put me on game. Most of the top dogs, they usually keep revolving credit, so it's always got a balance. But it's
Mhm.
under 9%, I believe, is what she said. 8 or 9%, might be a little lower, but that's a little bit different than that 30% that everybody thinks. Like, you know, that's the golden rule. Like that's just the ideal thing. But when you want to start talking about 800 credit scores, the 850, you know, had a perfect score. You want to start looking at under 9%, I believe was what she told me. Also, I believe I read somewhere somebody that I know is in the credit game was telling me that, you know, once you get to like a 780, I think 780, 800, it essentially holds as much weight as the perfect score. So, I mean, a lot of people, they're so worried about it, you know, credit score. But to me, once you're in the high sevens, you good no matter what. And, you know,
Yeah.
I would say also a lesson learned that I learned because I closed out a lot of credit cards that was in my name and I settled on, and don't close them, just keep them. I mean, if you feel that I didn't know back then, I was really fresh out of college, didn't have no clue. I just knew my mom had all this stuff, and it was what it was, and I was just like, okay, so I settled it off, and I closed them out. But I mean, if you feel like you're not comfortable having that, yeah, close it out because it'll do more good for you in the long run if you feel like you can't manage that. Because still, at the end of the day, you got to manage this. Like, especially once you start getting, you know, once you start doing stuff on time and making payments on time and showing good credit history, any cards you got, they might randomly, you know, it's just happened to me. Like Bank of America, they just randomly bumped my limit up. And I mean, that was just a card I got back in college just to say I had some because I needed gas. So I mean, also that's another thing you could do. Like a lot of people want to use credit cards. We like to think of, you know, use them in emergencies. Well, no, that's why you set up an emergency fund, right? So now you don't have to, you know, use that credit card, do that to deploy into, oh man, I got to cover this emergency. It's $5,000. My credit card limit $10,000. Now you got to figure it out. So that's another thing to take into consideration. Also, you can use your credit cards as leverage, right? Use it. I mean, whatever bills you can pay with it, because I'm not sure you can pay all your bills with it, but you can pay some stuff with it, right? So I use mine for my insurance. I think in like my insurance, phone. I use it for gas. Like use it for stuff that you have to pay, anyways, because a lot of these cards give you some type of cash back as well. The best one for me I liked was the one I just recently got was Discover, and what they do is they give you you get like 5% on certain categories every quarter, and it's like then they got a little small percentage breakdown after that. But what I really liked about them is 0% interest the first year, and what they do is they give you a cashback match after the first year. So run it up, heck, and they'll match whatever you got in cash back at the following year. So that's what I did. I took advantage of that, which essentially helped me put my credit card back at zero. And I mean, that's kind of a way I would say look into it. You know, make it to where you use your credit card for expense. And a lot of credit cards, you know, look at the benefits of these rewards because a lot of these credit cards have rewards. So look into the rewards. I know people. I got friends that they got the travel rewards credit cards, so they'll literally finesse their card to pay all their expenses off. But now they've built up enough points to go be able to take a trip to like Miami or something and get the hotel. It's all expenses paid. A lot of people, you know, we see them like living these great lifestyles and doing all this. I know people because now that I'm in this whole space, black people don't finesse the heck out of this. I know some people they don't finesse this so cold. They get Amazon gift cards. They get gift cards to like designer stores. They go in like trips, all types of stuff. It's all paid. But what they did was they leveraged the credit, right? Instead of just using the credit to go get something that you want, you leverage the credit, use it on something that you're gonna use as an expense anyways. Now you get paid off or get a rewards off of it, and you can still go get what you want from it. So now you've literally tackled 3-4 things off of one swipe. So I mean, that's just something to take into consideration too, man. It's powerful to be able to leverage credit, and I'll keep y'all posted because I'll be soon getting funded, and I'm gonna use the bank's money to go do some real estate stuff and see how that works out. I mean, knock on wood, hopefully it works out right.
It's kind of converted to like a credit talk. I mean, granted, I'm no credit expert. I just know what my own personal life and personal business.
Yeah.
But so a few things with credit too is like I was at the 780s. So nowadays, if you want to get a job, if you want to rent a house, if you want to buy, well, definitely want to buy a house, buy a car, whatever it may be.
It's all about credit.
When you get into the business space, yeah, they definitely look at your personal credit. And if your personal credit's right with the business space, like I was talking about funding, is I know when I had my RC business, Capital One gave me $100,000 in unsecured line of credit. So basically, in a sense, there was no obligation on me personally to pay them back. It was completely, dude, you got a credit score of 780 plus. You've been doing it right for this many years. We trust you. So I know with that business, when I found that out, I was able to buy 40,000 in inventory, and it was 0% with Capital. I mean, I'm sure it changes every year, but it was 0%. They did the cashback match, and it was like every quarter you could choose what category you wanted, whether it be gas, groceries.
Yeah, that's one of my cars.
Yeah, so I mean, I was getting 3% on a $40,000 purchase that I planned on paying back almost instantly. And then if I didn't pay it back instantly, I had 0% for a year. So I mean, that's kind of that's that stuff. I mean, like what rappers say when they buy jewelry, like, you think I'm carrying around 100K in cash? Some rappers are, they're not the smart ones. But the smart ones are gonna buy $100,000 in jewelry on credit because they know they got the cash in the bank. They'll just pay it off. Now they just made $3,000 just using a credit card instead of cash.
And then you utilize other people's money. That's that's all you want to do, man. Take advantage of hacking into somebody else's bank account, man. If you could use somebody else's money to make you some money, instead of using your own, wouldn't you do that? Like me, I'm working on getting to that point. Cause I'm figuring out something. I'm starting to do that. Also, let me put this out here real quick. All y'all I said I'm doing a small account challenge for, I'm using 1,000. Stop asking me, can I grow accounts for y'all? No. No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing that. Like,
you don't want to take that risk, man?
No, I'm doing myself because I'm okay. I'm comfortable if I lose the money. I can sleep just fine at night if I lose $1,000 on my own accord trading. I'm A-okay. It don't bother me. But stop hitting me up asking me that. Golly.
And then people want to see what you could do with their accounts, man. That's all.
That's fine. They can watch what I do with mine, and I'll be documenting it on YouTube and everything else.
Be knocking on Ollie's door in 30 days. Where's my money, man?
See, that's it. I got a whole strategy and plan I'm gonna do. And this is something a little new. Like 20-30% of that is gonna be penny stocks, and I'm gonna go into that realm again.
And I did when you gonna start it up.
Probably like mid-March. I'm trying to get some other stuff set up in place right now, but yeah, mid-March.
You done heard that, so if you want to follow the documentary you're about to create, might as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to get me a damn desktop first before I do it, but it ain't looking like it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna just be on the laptop, trapping off the laptop.
Make sure you buy it on credit.
I got my own credit plan. I finally got my score up now, and they giving me money now, so I'm trying to not fuck it up.
Shoot, the other key, I don't know. I mean, some people's parents have credit cards. If they pay off their credit cards, definitely that's the quickest way to raise it. I think we might have mentioned this, but if they're good with their credit cards, just ask them to put you as an authorized user. And like Ollie said, he did with the sister's card, just tell them to cut it up. Literally, you just need that age credit. Because if you go out and buy if you get a whole bunch of credit cards, you're just lowering your credit age. So I mean, if you can give yourself a 20-year head start by getting your parents' credit or uncle or an aunt.
Yeah, because a lot of people they take on what their history is, I believe. So you could be 18 with 30 plus years of credit age. It's like we don't know about that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
nobody know
what
about
that's what my grandparents did to me. Cause I was like, man, how did I get 20 years? I know I haven't had this car for this long.
Yeah, I lucked up. My grandma put me on one of hers, like one of her credit cards she got, and I was just like, oh, okay. So it helped offset that hit I took. And I was still in the high fives when I started. So I mean, yeah, I need to make a damn book because I raised my shit to the sevens in a couple of years. But that was a whole different level of discipline right there. I was focused back then. We talk about broken. Only gas. I pay my stuff off every month. I didn't carry no balance. So, but it worked out. I mean, I ain't got no 780. I ain't Devin, but we creeping.
I play dangerous games, man. I play dangerous games.
Hey, shoot, that's how I am. I don't even care. Risk, man.
Big leaps of faith. I'll say that.
Calculated risk.
Yeah,
People be
calculated
sleep
risk.
on it.
Something like that.
That's all everything I do now.
Sometimes I just do it and I'm like, oh damn, that actually worked out. So
Oh man.
But go ahead and wrap this up. For also, I know a lot of y'all in Texas, man. So if anybody needs something, if you're in the Dallas area, hit me up. I got, I'll help out any way I can. But I do know we got hit hard by this whole, I don't even know what this little fake freeze over pump fake really, because it only happened for a week and now it's gone and it just messed up a whole bunch of people's lives and stuff. So, don't hesitate to reach out if y'all, going through stuff. I'm always available. Find me on Instagram, Wealth of the Culture. These guys, we're working on getting them on social media. They want to act stuff. So.
Don't worry, we live. We're gonna get on it.
But other than that, hopefully y'all got something out of this. Hopefully we was able to help. Y'all ever got any questions or topics y'all want us to cover, hit us up. Understand the hustle _ on IG. You can hit me up on Wealth for the Culture, Old Brady 77. Facebook, Ollie Brady, Devin Shaw, Mark Severe. So I'm on Twitter, Wealth Culture. So yeah, just hit us up. I'll talk about whatever. If I can't get you the answer, I'll find somebody to bring on that can get you the answer. I promise you that. So another episode in the books. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. You got any value, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, share, run it up, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Peace.